Let's jump right in. We usually think about wealth as just a number to chase, right? Like a specific target we need to hit so we can finally sit back and relax. But in this explainer, we're going to flip that completely on its head. We're looking at how lasting wealth isn't actually something you chase. It's someone you become. We're going to break down the exact mindset shifts, those daily behavioral habits, and the emotional discipline that quite literally print money over a lifetime.
So why do some people stay stuck while others build real wealth? It's the ultimate question, isn't it? And it forces us to look right past this idea of luck. You know, it's super easy to blame the economy or how we were raised or just a string of really bad timing. But if we pull back the curtain and get totally honest with ourselves, financial stress rarely just drops out of the sky. It's almost always the result of repeated, quiet decisions. I'm talking about financing that car you can't quite afford just to impress strangers, or swiping a credit card for daily conveniences and then scratching your head wondering why the math just doesn't work out at the end of the month.
And that leads us to this truth. Real wealth is built inside the mind before it ever appears in your bank account. While most of society is completely obsessed with, finding the next winning stock, the perfect crypto play, or some other get-rich-quick shortcut, actual wealth is being built in the quiet moments. Money fundamentally responds to discipline and mature thinking. You really can't spend your evenings complaining about your circumstances or dodging personal responsibility and then expect financial freedom to just magically show up. Ultimately, your external reality is going to mirror your internal mindset.
Let's get into Section 1, Real Wealth Begins Inside.
Picture this. It's the end of a deeply exhausting workday. That exact moment you walk through your front door, that is a massive fork in the road. Average thinking focuses on entertainment and comfort, collapsing onto the couch to doom scroll or binge TV for 3 hours just to numb the day's exhaustion. But wealthy thinking? It prioritizes learning and discipline. A person with this mindset is just as tired, but they use that exact same evening to read 20 pages of a book, study a new skill, or outline a side project. They actually lean into the discomfort. It's literally these tiny, ordinary decisions that totally dictate where you'll end up 10 years from now. And here's the beauty of it. Profound transformation doesn't require you to be perfect. Honestly, perfectionism is usually what totally kills progress. If you try to overhaul your entire financial life by Monday morning, you're probably going to give up by Wednesday. The real secret is the compounding math of just a 1% daily improvement. Reading a few pages, catching yourself before making one impulse buy, or just moving 10 extra bucks into savings. It completely removes the paralysis of being perfect and replaces it with this steady, absolutely unstoppable momentum. Moving right along to Section 2, Escaping the Comfort Trap. So our brains are biologically wired to conserve energy, which means we naturally crave the comfort trap. It's safe, and it completely avoids effort. But constantly choosing easy living is super insidious because it slowly bankrupts your ambition. When you live strictly for comfort, putting in effort starts to feel almost physically painful. To break out, you have to intentionally push yourself into the growth zone. You have to take that uncomfortable action, demand honesty from yourself, and force it until that discipline actually rewires your brain and becomes your brand new normal. And doing that means earning your own self-respect, which is actually a highly private thing. It's waking up earlier than required, reading powerful books daily, or saving money consistently. It's finishing tasks, even when you're totally drained, and putting the screen away. By doing these things, you're actively proving to your own brain that your future matters way more than your immediate impulses. Real self-respect isn't built by curating some perfect image online. It's built in the dark when your daily actions finally sync up with your highest values. Which brings us to Section 3, Habits that Produce Income. Think about a major crisis hitting your workplace. A huge client is furious, or a critical system just went down. The average person usually panics or starts pointing fingers. But the high-value individual, they stay perfectly calm, diagnose the problem, and offer a workable solution. That rare ability to solve problems makes you completely indispensable, and the market pays incredibly well for that. When you combine that problem-solving nature with continuous learning, fiercely managing your time to avoid distractions, and honestly tracking your progress, your income potential naturally and inevitably goes through the roof. Because here is the absolute truth. Income isn't just connected to jobs, it is deeply connected to your value. Your external wealth will rarely exceed your internal maturity. The modern economy acts like this giant, ruthless sorting machine. It constantly filters for and rewards usefulness, reliability, and the ability to just get things done without needing a micromanager. So your financial future is intimately shaped by how skilled and disciplined you decide to be every single day, completely regardless of your actual job title. Let's shift gears to Section 4,
Mastering emotional money decisions.
Okay, imagine browsing online late at night after a brutal week. You see something flashy, you get that instant, intoxicating rush of dopamine, and you instinctively reach for the credit card. Stop. Right in that exact moment, you need a mental circuit breaker. You have to ask yourself, will this choice create peace later or stress later? Asking that one simple question forces you to step out of your emotional brain and back into logic. It's just a 5-second pause, but it can literally save you thousands of dollars over a lifetime.
This leads directly to emotional spending, using money carelessly during moments of stress, boredom, or loneliness to buy temporary relief rather than acting logically. And social media has absolutely supercharged this epidemic. We constantly compare our messy behind-the-scenes reality to someone else's heavily curated highlight reel, which just breeds deep insecurity. To medicate that, highly intelligent people will go into severe debt buying depreciating assets they can't afford just to project a fake status to people they don't even really know. It's a devastating cycle. Let's walk through exactly how this plays out in real time. Minute 1, your boss yells at you and you feel awful. By minute 10, you're making an impulsive, reckless purchase online just to feel a fleeting hit of dopamine to numb the pain. Day 2, the package arrives, but that temporary emotional excitement has completely faded. And years later, you're still carrying the hidden financial pressure and deep regret of that tiny 10-minute emotional impulse.
When intense financial pressure hits, the difference in mindset becomes incredibly obvious. An emotional thinker completely panics. Out of sheer desperation, they chase dangerous shortcuts like payday loans or reckless spending, which leads to constant anxiety and much deeper debt. But a clear thinker, they take a deep breath. They pause, adjust their budget, and accept reality. They prioritize genuine long-term stability and peaceful finances over the fleeting illusion of looking wealthy.
Now for our final part, Section 5, Becoming a Wealth Builder. There is an immense, almost unbelievable freedom that comes from dropping the blame game entirely. Blaming the economy or your background feels comforting because it lets you off the hook. But the true identity of a wealth builder, they take absolute personal responsibility. They refuse to let temporary hardship destroy their focus, they guard their mind against constant negativity, and they value actual emotional peace way more than public appearances. That right there is the true hallmark of someone who builds multi-generational wealth. Because as this quote perfectly captures, the real goal is becoming the type of person capable of handling pressure and building stability consistently. If you somehow manage to earn a massive amount of money, but you fundamentally lack emotional maturity, the universe has a funny way of taking that money right back. It'll disappear through impulsive choices or just amplify your existing chaos. That internal foundation of strong character, deep wisdom, and unshakable emotional endurance, that has to be built first. The money is truly just a byproduct. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Look at your habits today and ask yourself honestly, are your daily choices quietly building your financial fortress? Or are they slowly tearing it down? Remember, the market doesn't dictate your future, your mindset does. Step out of that comfort zone, stop waiting for the perfect conditions, and start becoming the person capable of printing their own wealth.